All right, Steven, I got you synced up here with Noah Syndergaard. I'm using him as a good representation of a smooth delivery, something that we're looking for to contribute to consistently high velocity at a low stress level. He's obviously a lot bigger than you, but the delivery is sound, so I'm going to use him as a good example of what I should be looking for on your lower body action especially. We're going to stay focused on your lower body because you have a big issue with how your weight moves down the mound, how efficiently you're moving to create speed down the mound. All right. So, you mentioned that you can get up to 92 with the motion that you have right now, and I'm actually kind of surprised by that because when we go further, you're going to see a lot of your weight gets sent directly down into the ground, and then you have to basically jump off of your leg to get any sort of lateral movement or movement forward down the mound before you get into landing. And that's not how we want the motion to go. We want to move with the slope of the mound and move, with a high rate of speed without sacrificing all of our energy straight down and then out. We want to move gradually down the mound. So we're basically gliding or driving with the slope of the mound. So our back leg is where I'm going to focus a lot on you. As soon as you lift your leg right here in the beginning of the motion, this is where you set yourself off. Notice how Noah's going to basically lift with his knee back. All right, now he's not counter-rotating. He's not, turning his body like Johnny Cueto or something like that. But he is lifting his knee back so that he can get his hip closed off and allow it to lead as he moves down the mound, as opposed to your lift, which is basically straight up, and you'll see that knee is, not crossing any plane or engaging your hip, right? So this is going to play a role later. The next move, which makes this even worse right here in terms of keeping your hips closed down the mound, is going to be right when you start to get into leg drive. So leg drive for you is more like sitting on your back leg. You're going to see this from the back angle on what your action has to do. So your back leg basically squats straight down right here into handbrake. Okay? You're going to notice that that back knee is on the inside of your back ankle. All right? This is a very bad position. We want to be in a stronger position than this, almost like the principles that we have when we squat or we do a box jump or a lateral jump, any sort of plyometrical jump. We want our knees to stabilize over our ankles. We don't want them to collapse to the inside of our ankles. All right? Notice how, because you do that, you're going to see your front hip is already starting to open. Okay? Your knee shifts in, your hip starts to rotate because everything's connected. So you're already doing early rotation in your delivery before you've even moved towards the plate. Okay, so on the counter side, Noah is going to get into handbrake, and it's going to look more like this. Okay? You're going to see the back knee stabilize over the ankle. Okay, number one. We're always looking for an angle more like this. Okay? We want the knee to stabilize over that ankle, and we want the thigh to look like it's out in front of the knee. All right? Because he's doing that, you're going to see that his front hip stays closed. All right? Now, the next thing is it's going to allow him to move at a higher rate of speed down the mound than you. You move fairly slowly down the mound, and all of your energy is created at the very end of your motion, when we really want to be creating it at the point of our highest potential energy. So picture a roller coaster at the top of a hill, right? That's where it has its highest potential energy, and then it uses that to transfer into kinetic energy and go down the hill. What you're doing is you're squatting all of that energy straight down, very slowly moving forward, and then you're having to jump off that leg and get out there. Okay, and from the back view, you're really going to see what I'm talking about there. All right, now on the side view, where this is an issue is causing early rotation and collapsing of your back knee. So you'll see right here, that knee's still to the inside of the ankle. This is what we want to see. See how this knee's staying to the outside? All right, and he's consistently driving himself forward, 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 as opposed to you sitting down. Because you're sitting down, your arm basically has to delay itself. You notice how your arm just becomes completely straight and dangles there for a second? It's the only way you can get it to sync up with your body, because you've not moved at such a high rate of speed to let your arm kind of swing freely, swing with more speed itself. Because everything's about arm speed. And in order to create arm speed, we want to move our body at a high rate of speed, something you're totally missing at the beginning of the motion. So that, I would say, is 90% of your problem. If you're throwing 92 like this right now, if you can get up to 92, you're going to be 92, period. And you should have no arm pain or arm stress or loss in velocity, especially at the innings level that you had told me on the phone. So you're not a 100-inning guy or anything like that. You had 20, 30 innings in college, and you had 20, 30 innings in the summer. And that is really not a point of fatigue. That should not be creating a point of fatigue for you. Now, if you told me you threw 100 innings for college and you were sore and your velocity went down, I would believe you, but or that would be a normal thing to me. But at the innings level you were at, man, this right here is the culprit. It's creating too much stress in your delivery, so it's hard for you to maintain the velocity. Now, here's the last part where this plays a bad role. When you get in a landing, because of the way that you've gone down the mound, your back hip is not high enough over your front hip to allow you to get into what we call bracing. So all the energy you've created down the mound now needs to come up to the arm. It needs to turn into rotational velocity, right? And as soon as you land, we want to see the front knee stop forward progress and be in a stable position to allow hip rotation to fully happen, allow maximum external rotation to happen properly, which is basically the layback of your arm. And I know you're probably not throwing full speed here, but that elbow being in front of you and that arm not being all the way back and this foot being off the ground right here in the air, along with your knee, most importantly your front knee being bent right now, that's the other side of the domino effect here, the major issue that's slowing rotational velocity. This is all related. You need the first thing I mentioned to get this thing that I'm mentioning, okay? So notice Noah here. He's moving down the mound. He's getting into landing. He's finishing at a higher position than you because he moved his weight more efficiently. Because he's finishing in a higher or landing in a higher position, his knee is further behind his ankle as opposed to where your knee was at the same point in time. You notice how your knee is over your ankle to slightly in front of your ankle. So he can stabilize his ankle, you cannot. He can stabilize his knee, you cannot. Watch the next few frames. He's going to get into maximum external rotation. Okay, see how his elbow is behind his head? You're going to get into yours. Notice how your elbow is leading. That's just more stress on the UCL. And as he's throwing the ball, you're going to see the front knee straightening, front leg straightening into ball release, okay, causing his trunk to lean forward. You're going to see yours try to straighten, but not quite get there because it can't. It can't get all the way around because of the beginning of your motion. You didn't move fast enough and you didn't land in a proper position to get all the way over that leg. All right? So from the back view, I'm going to kind of give you a better perspective of what that back leg action is doing. But man, we got to fix the beginning of this motion right here. Everything with you, in order to stay 92 and above with ease, is happening right here. All that weight is just going in the wrong direction. You're not moving fast enough. And this is going to feel so much easier on your arm, dude. You'll probably move twice as fast down the mound. You're going to have better bracing action. Everything's just going to feel alleviated on that throwing arm, and you're going to throw at a high rate of velocity all the time. So that's it.